I'm TashTheMinion. Welcome back to another episode of my beginner's guide to the long dark. Today we are visiting the Ravine. Now the Ravine isn't a region as such, it is a transition region. You can get to two places from here. If we take a look at the world map, we've come via Mystery Lake, so we've followed the train line past the dam and entered into the ravine. From here you can get to Bleak Inlet, that's the upper level of Bleak Inlet, and you can get to Coastal Highway. Now there is a reason why we also fondly refer to this as the TLD hospital. And that's because, as at the time of recording, there are no hostile wildlife here. So no wolves, no bears, no moose. There are abundant passive wildlife, rabbits and deer, plenty of cattails. So it's a good place to recuperate if need be. Now, we've come from that direction. We'll come back and follow that train line down in a moment. But there is a safe cave here. I'll just show you that location. So, before we get to this little bridge, if you hang a right, keep the rocks to your right, follow it around, we obviously can't go up there, just keep following them. Obviously once you've been here a few times you'll find a quicker route across, but I'm just showing you sort of the markers. And then right here is a nice safe cave where you can rest, recuperate. There's plenty of birch bark around. And as I say, you can see deer in the distance, plenty of wildlife. So I'm going to head back to the train line. Now there's not much else to say about the ravine. It's a very small transition region. You adventure it and explore it at your own leisure. So I'm going to talk about the transitions. You can get to Bleak Inlet from here. That's the upper level of Bleak Inlet. But to do that, we're going to need to follow the tracks back down and pick up a rope. So I'm going to do Bleak Inlet first. So we're back on the line and we'll follow this all the way down to a derailment. You can see there's plenty of wildlife, plenty of cattails. So the derailment is up here. And it's also a landslide which you can't get over. Now the reason why we need to come here is we need to get a rope. And if we're lucky, it will have spawned somewhere around here. We've got some coal. I'm not going to pick anything up because of managing our weight. Do we see a rope? Coal. A little bit stuck. Ugh. Right. There wasn't a box in here, was there? No. Why did we... Oh. And it's very frustrating when you don't find the rope. So we're checking all around. Okay, no rope. So we're going to head on down. So we're going to come back a bit to where the river is, and then we're going to cross over the river. We're going to see if we can get to the other side of the cars, the derailment cars, and hopefully there'll be a rope there. So after we've crossed the river, bear left. You can see there's plenty of rabbits as well. And then we're at the other side of the derailment here. There is a log bridge. So let's hope. Right, there does not seem to be a rope. A lot of scrap metal. Okay, so sometimes it's in that first train cart, and sometimes you have to hope that it's somewhere else. So we're going to continue up here. More birch bark. Looks like there's another cave up here as well. So we'll just check the cave. Maybe we should check the first one as well, see if it was in there. Let's take a look. Nope. Not going to take anything because of watching the weight. There's plenty of food, wood, matches here. So after a bit of a hunt around, I've come back to the first cave that I showed you, And would you believe it, the rope is actually here. So this is another spawn spot for it, either here or at the derailment. So we're going to take the rope. We're a little bit heavy now, but that shouldn't be too bad. And I'm going to go back to the track. And the reason for that is just in case you find it at the derailment instead. So you can look here and then take a look at the derailment. So we'll just head back to the track. Okay, now we'll show you how to get into Bleak Inlet. So we'll follow the track and we're going to head almost up to the derailment again. So there's the derailment. So what we'll do is we'll cross the river here. As if we were heading back to the other side of the derailment and that log bridge. Keep left. Now, down there is where we went to the log bridge, and then to the right of that you can see the mounting rope, the mountaineering rope rocks. They always look like this, and if you have a rope in your inventory, when you get near the rock it'll ask you to deploy the mountain rope. There we go. Okay, so obviously you don't want to be over encumbered. You go down the rope. When you get to the bottom of the rope, there's these fallen cars here, and you want to head right past these cars. We're in the Ravine basin. You can obviously search the carts. We'll just follow this frozen stream. keep following it. And then you come to this sort of little clearing. There is another cave there that you can take refuge in if you need. There are cattails. Go to the end of the clearing and then bear right. And you will leave the ravine. And here we are in Bleak Inlet. We are on the upper level of Bleak Inlet. Our next region is Coastal Highway. So here we are back at the log bridge, which is how we need to get to the other side of the landslide and broken railroad. And we're basically getting back up to the tracks and then getting into Coastal Highway is just following the tracks. Don't worry about my afflictions. I needed to get back up that road. I've got a headache now. Okay, we've got our energy back up. We've had a nice sleep. We're going to get back onto the tracks now. Over a second bridge. And we're heading towards the tunnel. Now it does almost look like you can't get through this tunnel, but you can. You can. You just need to veer to the right hand side. Following the tracks. And then we get to one of the scariest things, but also quite beautiful in the long dark. This is the trestle bridge, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to follow it. Ravine Falls here. And it's pretty creaky. And it's also a little broken. And it is easy to fall off this. I've seen the best players do this and fall off it. So there we go. always a relief when you've got to the other side. And once again, we just keep following the line. As we hit the tunnel, we'll leave the ravine, and we're now in the coastal highway region. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Hopefully see you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Take care everyone. Bye.